It's Mario Toneguzzi. Do you want to highlight your company on my next episode of 5 Questions? Click below. Hello and welcome to 5 Questions with Mario Toneguzzi on MegaPixx Media. Joining me today is David Wallach, who is founder and president of Triumph Real Estate Investment Trust. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let me just ask you first of all, what is this REIT and what do you guys do?
Well, REIT is a real estate investment trust, as you know. What we do is we buy 3 market segments of the total commercial real estate world, which is office, industrial, and retail. But we also have a very unique proposition because what we do is we buy properties that are not competing with the big whales, with the big institutions. So our sweet spot is between $4 to $20 million, which creates for us almost like a blue ocean. We don't have a lot of competition, and it allows us to buy properties with a higher cap rate because there's less competition, and with an option to create value. Our foundation is income and growth. So we distribute every 3 months to our investors, and growth is when we sell. So during the time we hold the property, we do increase rents, we do lease the vacancies, and when it's ready, we sell. And that's how we create the value and the return to the investors. And when I say investors, is us, because I'm also invested in my own. I walk my own talk. So I invested money in both funds, Fund 1 and Fund 2.
Tell me a little bit about being a private REIT. What does that mean and how do you raise money?
So private REIT means that we're not on the public market. We're not on the Toronto market stock exchange or any other stock exchange. So we raise money, first of all and foremost is I raise money through family, friends, clients. A lot of my other company, Barclay Street clients have invested with me. But we also have a network of salespeople called the exempt market. It's a whole market in Canada that is growing that allows people to invest not through the stock exchange, but directly with companies like ours, like our REIT or other what's called issuers. So you have what they call dealing representatives, that they are licensed with exempt market dealers, and they are all over from coast to coast, and they, have their clientele. They offer them to invest either in Triumph or other options that they have in the exempt market, and people can invest. And the reason we're a trust, so people can invest with their TFSA, RSP, Lira, or cash. We also take cash. We're nice people. We take cash as well.
So tell me a little bit about the environment that we find ourselves in with COVID, presently, and then perhaps afterwards. What impact does that have on what you guys are doing through Triumph?
That's a great question, we all had to go through COVID, and our motto when we got to the board, we have a board of independents. And when we got the board meeting, I don't remember if it was March or April last year, our main decision, our focus was keep as many tenants as we can. Help them as much as you can. It's cheaper to keep a tenant than to replace a tenant, and you know that.
Yeah.
So we went to the tenants that needed help, and we say, here is a deferral program. We gave them a deferral program, and right now they're paying back that deferred program, and we're very happy with the pace that we're collecting this money. But we also looked at it and we said, you know what, that would create also opportunities for us, because if one of our foundation is growth, you want to buy cheap. You want to take advantage of market conditions. And we see today opportunities mostly in the US because we buy both sides of the border. We see a lot of opportunities in the US to buy at a 7, 7.5, 8, and even 8.5 cap rate. With financing going down, cap rate going up, it's music to my ears. So we're very active right now in pursuing opportunities and raising money because we think that the next 18 months have presented an opportunity that may not be here in 2 years for us to buy properties and increase value for our shareholder or so unit holders or the investors, and that's kind of where we are focused right now in the post-COVID. We went through the tough period where we see more light at the end of the tunnel right now, and we see opportunities ahead of us. So that's where our focus is right now, finding those opportunities and going with a magnifying glass on every opportunity that we see, because some of the opportunities we see, what you see is not what you get. That's why our due diligence process is very thorough.
David, you're also heading up Barclay Street Real Estate here in Calgary. How do you work the two of them together, and how do they complement each other?
The way we work together is it's two different entities, as you mentioned. And Barclay Street, we have a great team. And today I delegate as much as I can at Barclay Street because I have the right people to delegate to. So that's reason number one. Reason number two is I delegate to them because then I can blame them on every mistake they do. In terms of the synergies between the two companies, what Barclay Street brings to the table is a lot of information. Because Barclay Street is also part of TCN Worldwide, which is a network of organizations of privately owned brokerages all over the world, mostly in the US. So we have people on the ground in Phoenix, in Denver, in Dallas, in markets that we are active as Triumph. We get from them the information on vacancies, rates, whether the location is good or not. We also ask them one question all the time: will you invest with us in this property? If they say no, we're out. If they say yes, we say we don't need you. But we get the information through Barclay to Triumph, which I know that other companies have to pay for this information. We have it at our fingertips, and that helps us a lot on the decision-making process, because the key is to make the right decision with as much information as you can get, and that's where the synergy comes between the two companies.
As you look forward, David, say the next 5, maybe 10 years, what's your vision for Triumph and where it's going to be in the next few years?
We are now in Fund 2. We closed Fund 1, we bought 9 properties, and we are now in Fund 2. And as I mentioned, I see a lot of opportunities ahead of us. And we're focused on certain geographical areas. And one of the things we do, we follow 2 things. We follow employment and we follow migration. And that's why we're focused on Denver, Dallas, Phoenix. We're focused also in Alberta and Ottawa. So I see opportunities that will present themselves to us, because we also got ourselves now that we manage almost $100 million of properties. We got ourselves to I would say, a situation or a position that banks are willing to give us money. We closed 2 deals during COVID when banks were not willing to give money. But we have the relationship, we have the track record, we are kind of growing the relationship we have, and that's why I see opportunities going forward as the markets open. And we are now looking to sell some of the properties from Fund 1. We're looking to buy more for Fund 2. So looking forward 5-10 years, I see it as a wheel that will continue to, maybe like it's a snowball that will continue to grow and continue to grow and continue to grow.
Okay, thanks for joining us today, David.
It was my pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Okay, that was David Wallach, who is founder and president of the Triumph Real Estate Investment Trust. This has been 5 Questions with Mario Toneguzzi on MegaPixx Media. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Remember, if you want someone you know to be our next guest, click below in our description. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe so you'll never miss an episode.